out there, Buddy Fighters? This is the Keep with Lucksack.com, here to bring you a deck profile from one of our locals over here, Brandon, who uses his favorite Magic World when competing in our weekly tournaments. Brandon, say hello.
Hi.
All right. And so this is a Magic deck that you built from the basis of the Asmodai, the smart Asmodai deck, right?
Yeah, I got in second place when I first bought the trial deck.
And you've only done maybe a few changes to this, but you've been modifying. But you've been modifying it here and there to make it more accustomed to your fighting style, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out some of the cards over here so you can go over them, and you tell me why you may have chose those particular cards. Well, obviously the first one is the weapons. You know, the weapons we're looking at, it's just the wizard staff where you can give a boost and you rest it during the main phase and you do 1 damage to your opponent.
Yeah, it's just you can't block it, so it's just like every turn.
So yeah, it's pretty much a core staple that you'll need.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one that we have that you actually use right here is the Solomon's Great Barrier. Why do you use this one here?
I use it because when I put down the size one I for this thing, it really helps.
Okay.
It really helps because then I can put down Astaroth and Bellic.
Okay, and we'll be seeing those here in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. You use this guy as your buddy here. What is it? Rebel... What's his name?
Rebel.
Now, why do you use him as your buddy?
Because he has high attack and his ability is really good and he has double attack.
So he's a double attacker. He's a 7/2/5, which is a pretty beefy Magic card out there. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Now, I noticed a lot of Magic decks don't run too many 3s, but you do it on the contrary. You actually run quite a bit of easy 3s.
It works for my fighting style.
Rather successful with it. Okay, so let's go to the next spell card that we have here. Magical Goodbye. You've got one of these in your deck. So of course that's the key counter that you really want to just bounce things back into the hand.
Dragon.
Right? Yeah. That's definitely a way to get around them. All right, then we have Great Spell Saturday Night Devil Fever. This is a classic from the BT1 series, I believe. So I think, yeah, this is the one that 72 pillars where you pull them from the drop as well, right? Excellent. Yeah, we've seen a number of effects with that one. Now this one here, nice one. This one is the nice one from the trial deck. Yeah, the nice one was released in the BT1 series as well, right? So this is the one, pay 1 gauge, draw 2 cards, and you only win nice one. The one I like about this versus the Danger World, where you draw 2 cards, is that there's no life restriction. You have to have 5 life or less. Here, it's just
pay 1, draw 2.
Right from the get-go. And you run 2 of those. Excellent. And then we have Chillax, which is like a staple card for the Magic. You run 3 of these. But Chillax, pay 1 gauge. The next time damage will be dealt to you this turn, it's reduced to 0, and you gain 1 life. That's all sorts of blessings. Nice. And then for the next spell that you've got, you have Solomon's Shield. Again, this is like if it's not a link attack, you nullify the attack, right? So great against like probably Ancients or something like that, right?
Yeah, because there's not size 0s or anything.
Right.
Ancient is more against Seeger. So
of course, you know, having to deal with Seeger to begin with is kind of nasty, but definitely a great card to have.
Magic World and Ancient World. It doesn't really.
So let's go on to your next one. You have 2 of these. The I Am Wicked. It's a set spell, 72 pillars. 72 pillars on your center gets +2/+2 defense. So if you couple this with your size 3 monsters.
Yeah, I could play with Belial. 9,000, 2 crit, 7,000 health, double attack.
That is awesome. Pretty beefy. You can stand up to Seeger actually.
Yeah,
nice.
Second
right? Sweet deal. On to the next spell that we got. We have the Oops, which is another staple, but this one coming out of the trial deck here. Pay 2 gauge, return a monster, item, or spell on the field to its owner's hand. So that's Ancient World, right? Yeah. So even then, you can probably do Legend World too. You know, those great spells, pop them back in their hands, make them waste all that gauge. And then you have some other staples that we have from the BT2 series. This is the Key of Solomon's 2nd volume. Running 2 of these, so of course for their plussing, you gain 1 life. And if you have the Solomon's 1st volume in your drop zone, draw a card. And so, speaking of, you have 3 of these that you run. Key of Solomon's 1st volume. And this one's a counter. Put the top 2 cards from your deck into your gauge. So this is your gauge builder.
It helps my deck because my deck needs a lot of gauge.
Right. And then here you have, as your final spell, the Devil's Advantage. This one being a triple rare from BT1. Choose 72 pillars from your drop zone with the same card name and put them into your hand. So, and that's with pay 1 gauge. So if you're looking at building the gauge and you need a size 3 or something like that. definitely pops out. Excellent strategy. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the actual monsters themselves, okay?
Yep.
All right, Brandon, so we're here. We're going to go over your monster lineup right now. Let's go ahead and start off with the monster size ones. You run 3 of the Demon Realm Warriors Zepar? Zepar, somebody in the 72 Pillars realm.
Yeah.
All 72 Pillars, right?
Yeah.
You run 2 of the Demon Realm Death Metal Valafar? Okay, you're going to have to help me on those names, man. You run 1 of the Demon Realm Architect Ganigian. And this one's a 5/1/1 monster. This is interesting. When this card enters the field, search your deck for up to 1 Magic World spell with set. Put it in your hand and shuffle. So this almost guarantees you pulling your set card out to the side, right?
My barrier.
So, alright, so let's go ahead and check it out. We actually have over here 3 copies of the Fallen Angel Paimon, which is a staple in all Magic decks right now. 72 Pillars, 4/2/1. Pretty beefy on his hit, just for a 1 no
good
cost.
attack, good crit.
Right? And so then we go on to the next size 1 monster. It is the event producer AIM 2/1/6 heavy defense right in the middle. So great wall just in case you're in a pinch, you know?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now we move on to the star of the show, Asmodai. And so what we have here are 2 from the actual trial deck, the Let's Play Asmodai. When this card enters the field, if you have a card with Asmodai in its card name in your drop zone, you gain 1 life. So this definitely helps build on the life and helps you stay in the game. Then we have the original Asmodai from BT1, which is a cornerstone that you'll actually need in order to survive. We've got, 72 Pillars, Dangerous Backdrop. When this card enters the field, you may discard a card from your hand if you do destroy a monster on the field. And that can be anything. So Tempest again. This feels like such an anti-ancient deck right now. Alright, and now we're going to move on to the size 2s. The first size 2 that we have in this deck right here is the Great Duke Astaroth. 5/2/5 Soul Guard, double attack, pay 3 gauge. Put up to 2 72 Pillars from your hand into this card's soul. So that means you need to have beefy hand and strong gauge. So a lot of Solomon on this
And
one.
it reduces the spells by 1. So great spell, barrier breaker, no cost.
Oh wow, so those become 0 cost. Awesome.
Chillax and that stuff.
So that definitely saves you on the gauge to build up for your other like big guys here. So the next size 2 monster we have is another Asmodai. Dance Asmodai, 72 Pillar, pay 1 gauge. When this card enters the field, draw a card. Help keeping your hand up there. Then we have the size 2 monsters, Fallen Angel of Rage, Belith. This is the guy in the anime that you always see come in and never gets to hit. You know, he's a 3 crit. No one wants to get hit by 3 crit anyway, but 4/3/3, pretty strong attack on that. And then, of course, your star of the show that we have here, Rebel Belial, right? Double attack, pay 3 gauge, 7/2/5. Looking at when this card enters the field, put 3 cards from the top of each player's deck into the drop zone. If there's 72 Pillars among those cards, destroy a monster on the opponent's field. So Tempest, again, just running rampant on it, and it has a double attacker on that one, so that is pretty nasty. And then this one you're saying is one of the keys that you like to run, Champion Wrestler Asmodai. Yet another Asmodai out here. Pay 2 gauge, backdrop as many times as you like. When this card enters the field, you may discard as many cards as you want from your hand. If you do, destroy cards on your opponent's field equal to the number of cards you discarded from your hand. So again, Ancients don't stand really much of a chance when going against this one. Fantastic. Which, by the way, Tempest has been one of the front runners that has always come up strong in our tournaments to the Final Four. And of course, no BuddyFight deck wouldn't be complete without some impact cards. So we're going to go with our traditional first that we normally run, the Diabolical Hardcore, featured on the animated feature a number of times, pay 3 gauge. You may only cast this card if you have 72 Pillars in the center, deal 3 damage to your opponent. And with these size 3 72 Pillars, it's almost a guarantee that you're probably going to have a strong center right there. And then you also run this additional impact, just for variety, I'd imagine. Asmodai, Eternal Rolling Backdrop, pay 3 gauge, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck, deal damage to your opponent equal to 1 plus the number of cards revealed with Asmodai in this card's name, then put the revealed cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So I've seen a lot of people actually try to run heavy Asmodai decks. It's a little tough because Asmodai himself is really hard to get out of the BT1 series. But then I've seen people actually use the Danger World Asmodai, even though they can't play them on the field, use them as fodder for this impact. So creates a really interesting technique and extra interesting battles. I don't know why the people of Bushiroad did that, where they put the same, like the main character in all the different worlds, but I guess it adds a little bit more variety. So with that, I think this is all the monsters that we got right now. How many cards do you actually run in this deck? Do you have
it's 58.
58 cards.
Buddy
Including Buddy and the flag? Okay, so
Yeah.
minus that, you're looking at 56.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit more than I normally see people run, but still within the boundaries. When you hit about 58, 60 actually in your deck, that gets a little tough. But with this, you're actually running some pretty good odds. And you've been able to come up with some strong wins against quite a few people, me notably, a number of times, no matter what deck I roll on you with, man. So, interesting. So, hey, Brandon, thank you very much for showing your deck profile here today. When this goes up, please share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Do that kind of thing. And you guys out there, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or concerns on this deck, or have any questions for Brandon about what he does with his deck, please leave those in the comments below. Until next time, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Do you have more of these?